like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. We go SAFRL the show. Engines roar, lights will glow. Feel the rush, feel the flow. Every lap, a twist, a turn. Speeding fast, rubber burn. Crowds cheer, hearts churn. Victory, what we yearn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. Crashes, spins on the track. Up and down, who's coming back? Champions rise, no slack. Push to the front, never back. Pit stops, precision, gold. Strategy, daring, bold. Who will lead, not foretold. Speed and skill, tales unfold. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride.
Just one more thing before I go, before I let you take the throne. You go right and I'll stay left. And if you ever get too close, you'll know my name before I go. They love me, then they love you now. But don't forget there's one more round. Oh, the pain, I know it will, but I wear it like a crown. I am a fighter. Before this fight is over, you'll know my name before I go. 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 Just one more thing before I go. Before I let the curtain close. You can take the spotlight now, but when the lights are low, you'll still hear my echo. They build you up, then tear you down, but I won't make a sound. 'Cause I've been here before. You know my name before I go. 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 Before I go.
Are you crying?
There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light, take it to the edge where I have died 1,000 times, and maybe I could be the one to ride into the setting sun tonight. Just drive, breathing out, I'm breathing in, broken down, but I will live to fight again. For one last time, I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. We'll take it to the edge where I have died 1,000 times, and maybe I could be the one to ride into the setting sun tonight. Just There is a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I have died 1,000 times, and maybe I could be the one to run into the setting sun tonight. Just frustrated while I'm waiting on a miracle. I know the world is full of different kind of people. I know I'm strong walking down the street and I'm feeling so invisible. You talk to me like I'm not your equal. I know I'm strong. Feel like I could break out, break out. I could use some space now to breathe out. The pressure's on me. You asked me to be something like me. Why you trying to paint me like you're an enemy? Feel like I could The world is a haystack and I am the needle. I don't belong. Why you trying to turn me into something so typical? There you go again, waiting on the sheeple. They won't belong. Feel like I could break out, break out. I could use some space now to breathe out. The pressure's on me. You asked me to be something like me. Why you trying to paint me like your enemy? Feel like I could break out into something just like me. Into something just like me. Feel like I could break out, break out. Feel like I could break out, break out. Pressure's on me. You asked me to be something like me. Why you trying to paint me like your enemy? Feel like I could break out into something just like me. 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 Into something just. Under neon lights and engine screams, she's the guardian of our speed-filled dreams. With skull in flight and alien on the chase, she's the calm in the storm, our guiding grace. Andre by her side, loyal and strong, their love's been racing all along. But it's the brotherhood she holds so near. With every lap she makes it clear. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid. With every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Trophies shine, but not like her pride. Watching Skull and Andre glide. She's there in silence, she's there in roar, in every circuit, every lore. From midnight spins to dawn's first light, she's always there holding us tight. No crash too deep, no curve too wide. With her in spirit, we rise, we ride. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid. With every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. She ain't just a fan, she's a legacy born through every F1 storm we wore. Holding the line, fierce and unseen, forever our monarch, our Death Queen. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid. With every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. stand supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Yeah, oh, Death Queen, you are the queen of our sim racing team.
Like a shooting star, the engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR. Calls to play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. Not Fernando calls to play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. Death Queen, the top supporter scene, the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be, join the race, watch and see.
It's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beat. Engines roar, can't stay off seat. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. NFR, NFR, drama high, stars afar, round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar, round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. SAFRL, the show. Engines roar, lights will glow. Feel the rush, feel the flow. Every lap, a twist, a turn. Speeding fast, rubber burn. Crowds cheer, hearts churn. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. Crashes, spins on the track. Up and down, who's coming back? Champions rise, no slack. Push to the front, never back. Pit stops, precision, gold. Strategy, daring, bold. Who will lead, not foretold. Speed and skill, tales unfold. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride.
Just one more thing before I go, before I let you take the throne. You go right and I stay left. And if you ever get too close, you'll know my name before I go. They love me, then they love you now. But don't forget there's one more round. Oh, the pain, I know it will, but I wear it like a crown. I am a fighter. Before this fight is over, you'll know my name before I go. 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 Just one more thing before I go. Before I let the curtain close. You can take the spotlight now, but when the lights are low, you'll still hear my echo. They build you up, then tear you down. But I won't make a sound, 'cause I've been here.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to NFR, welcome back to SAFRL on a Tuesday night. We've just gone past 8 p.m. It's about time to go. Of course, season 14, round 5. We are in Austria, and it is a slightly different format, in case you forgot. Tonight is a sprint race. Means we're going to get through qualifying really quickly. That's what it's going to look like. Every driver is just going to have one lap to get around the circuit, set the best lap they can. That will then determine the starting order for the sprint race. Of course, the top 8 will score points in the sprint race. Think of it as a qualifying with some added points. Of course, it won't determine the field for the feature race. That has its own one-shot quali session. So if you don't get this right, if you don't get that sprint race right, get a second go at it later on. Difficult to keep track of who's in front at this stage. You can look at the left-hand side of your screen. There's a timing sheet there. Driver on the top is technically the driver ahead at this stage. So unless something changes around the final corner, it's Midas 103.8. And the Salba, should I say the Audi, will take provisional pole for that sprint race. There are your results. Midas takes pole, 103.8. Then Miguel in P2, 104.2. Big difference, 0.4 of a second. Then is that Kellogg's. That's Kellogg's in P3, Smurf P4, Skulk P5, Harshguard 2 and 6. Then you've got Osman P7, Andre P8, Virus P9, and Pantry Star making up the top 10. We've got a full 20 drivers. Milk 11, Grimmy 12, Tiago 13, that's Scar 14, Captain Slow 15, Levy 16, Jonas 17. Too many names, we'll get through them next time. Of course, welcome to everyone who is watching, everyone who's joined in. If you're waiting for qualifying to begin, thinking, well, that's an awfully quiet track, nothing's been happening in the last few minutes. Well, it's already happened. Of course, tonight's a sprint race. We've had our one-shot quali. That has already determined the order for the sprint race. You can actually just see the cars there on the right-hand side of your screen, just there in the corner. Those drivers will be getting ready for their sprint race. Not much to do in terms of strategy. Really got to decide what tyre you're going to start on. What tyre you have confidence will take you to the end of the race and still have life at the end of the race. You don't want anything touch and go that's going to fall off a cliff in the last couple of laps. Going to be a busy field. This is one of the shorter race circuits on the calendar. See how they get around here in a 1:03, and we're going to have 20 drivers in the field in what is a relatively small and narrow circuit. Of course, this is a track with a lot of history. In fact, the first Austrian Grand Prix was held just across the road from this circuit. That's right, the circuit didn't exist yet. It was just over the road at an airfield. Of course, then they went on to build this circuit initially known as the Österreicher Ring. Later renovated and shortened into the A1 Ring. And then it got its final modification and rejuvenation when it became the Red Bull Ring. This track was on the verge of bankruptcy. And Red Bull thought, we've got 2 teams. Why not pick up a track? course, the owner of Red Bull was looking to extend this circuit to its former glory. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever get to see that. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think will take the sprint race? I see we're down to 19 runners, so somebody's fallen out. Let's have a look. Is it Captain Slow? No, there's Captain Slow. He's in P15. I heard he was having a few internet issues, but we did have 20 drivers in the lobby. I see we're down to 19. Hopefully we'll be back up to 20 for that feature race, for that next qualifying that's coming up. But for now, all about the sprint race, and it's all about the top 8. Of course, unlike the feature race, top 10 do not score points. Only the top 8 score points, and it's reduced points. 8 points for the victory, 1 point for P8. P9, P10, no reward. Just some good practice for the main one that's coming later. Because now lining up for the final time before this sprint race. It goes by awfully quickly. Of course, no pit stops. If you are making pit stops, well, you shouldn't be. Sprint race is not going according to plan. We're all hoping for a better camera angle, and I think one will appear shortly. Look at all the DSQs. Look at all the DSQs. That's all the drivers that are getting their parking wrong. Naughty, naughty. Now we get the red lights. Not a good view of the red lights, but eventually they go off and we get underway. It's Midas versus Miguel into turn 1. Into the Nicky Lauda bend, and Miguel takes the lead. Very nicely done. He was 4 tenths behind in qualifying, but he's able to take the lead coming out of turn 1. Now I must warn all of my spectators, my control is broken. So if stats start jumping around on your screen, it's not my fault. Let's try get through this. Seems like everyone in the field, with the exception of one driver, going for the medium compound tire. Jonas going with the hard compound tire. He knows he's at the rear of the field, and if he's going to get to the front of the field, it's going to take a lot of aggressive driving and a lot of overtaking. So he's going with the hard tire. And just like that, the end of lap 1. Told you, this goes by so quickly. 109.5, that's the first race lap of the evening. Gap 4 tenths of a second between the top 2, but look at that, a long train going all the way back. We don't have a 1 second gap going. Oh wow, we've got a 1 second gap between 7 and 8, and that's the only 1 second gap we have in the entire field. And that 1 second gap has just dropped, so we do not have a gap in the field more than a second. At the rear of the field, this is Scar in the Ferrari. He's in a battle of his own, is he? It's not at the rear of the field anymore because he gets past the Red Bull up the inside, but wasn't able to get it stopped. So takes a trip through the kitty litter and loses the position he just made. Captain Slow, 1 position up the road, but a penalty next to his name already. This is Skull looking to get some points on the board in this championship, looking to get a checkered flag on the board in this championship. This is Thiago. Only saw his message asking for an invite a few moments ago. I guess he got his invite. Sorry about that, Thiago. Jonas That's the driver on hard. Said he was going to make overtakes, and we joined him just in time to watch an overtake. Gets past the Alpine of Grimmy, and now Jonas up to B14. His next target, the two Aston Martins up the road, but they got their hands full as well, chasing down one of the McLarens. Sash got two, and he's leading that field. Getting a bit of a queue forming behind him. It's always a bit stressful when you got one car behind you in DRS, but when you got a whole bunch, you know that one mistake, it's not going to lead to one position lost. It could lead to a whole handful of positions lost. Miguel leads the way. Midas still holding on in P2, and speaking of holding on, he's threatening, shows the nose, does the horse, but nothing comes of it, not yet. Still a lot of time in this race, but it looked like he was just lining him up, and this time he does line him up. L falls down to P2 for the first time in this race. Midas takes the lead of this race. The race he got pole position for. Love the name, Kellogg's Rule. Unless it's some flamboyant European name that I am pronouncing incredibly wrong, I read that as Kellogg's Rule. Guy likes his Cocoa Pops. Now you're looking at one of the two Red Bulls. This is Smurf. He's all over the back of Skulk. One of the two Williams. If I sound a little bit funny, that's because I'm sick. So bear with me. Gonna try and get through this, and hopefully by the end of the stream, I don't sound like Batman. Or even worse, the Joker. Midas and Miguel, 1 and 2 as they were in qualifying. And I wonder, Miguel deciding, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let Midas lead the way for a little bit. I'm going to be in tow with DRS. I'm going to apply the pressure. I've been absorbing the pressure this whole time. Frankly, I'm a little sick of it. Here in P2, charge up my battery, have another go towards the end of the race. When you're in a short race like this and DRS is so front and center, so important. Sometimes you don't want to be in the lead of the race at a certain time. You know that driver behind can just slingshot on a DRS on the final lap. So you got to decide, when do you want to be in front? It's not just about being in front. You can't get away from your opponent. Eventually, you're a sitting duck. That silver and black Mercedes, well, sort of looks like the Cadillac. 2026 Cadillac. There'll be some confusing liveries coming in 2026. Silver Mercedes, silver Audi, and a Cadillac that resembles a McLaren Mercedes from the 90s. Miguel retakes the lead of the race. It's a matter of time. That driver behind you, he's got the DRS, so he's able to be towed around all the while. Doesn't need to use his battery. Just able to charge up that battery until he's ready to attack again. Now, it switches. Midas, you can see his battery's pretty down. That's from all the defending. So he goes down into P2. He's going to charge that battery up. And I assure you, by the end of this race, he's going to have another go. Kellogg's in P3. Doing a great job of holding on to these two drivers ahead of him. These two drivers ahead of him, many would call aliens. So if you're able to hold on to the aliens, either you're having a fantastic drive or you're simply one of the aliens. The skull in a Williams that does not look like a Williams. All these liveries. Gonna go to the man who's currently P3 in the championship. That's Andre, P5 in the race. You can see him there, P3 in the championship, having a fantastic championship so far. He hasn't been winning races. Just comes down to consistency, picking up points every time points are on offer. That is the most important thing. South Africa's only got one Formula One world champion. His name's Jody Scheckter. And in the year he won the championship, he only won one race. Goes for MotoGP champion in the year 2020, Johan Mir. Also just the one victory in the entire season. Took the championship. All about consistency. And now Andre, speaking of consistency, he wants more than P5, he wants P4. You can feel it, it's right there, he's got the pace. Is he going to have the battery to defend when he makes up that position? So important to manage your time. He's got the inside, he might come out on top, he does. Andre up into P4, and the Mercedes team that's leading this championship so far couldn't ask for anything more. They've got a driver with extreme pace that when he doesn't make the mistakes, he can win the races. And they've got Andre constantly picking up the points. If it's a feature race, he's in the top 10. If it's a sprint race, he's in the top 8. Picking up points every time they're on offer. The strategy of Jonas. I didn't question it on stream, but I did question it in my mind. Well, he has proven me wrong. Jonas up into P4 on that set of hards. I said he might go for the harder compound because he knows it's going to be an aggressive race. It's going to be a race about making lots and lots of overtakes and driving quite aggressively. And he might have just been concerned that might take too much out of his mediums. In doing that, he's got a different set of tires to everyone on circuit. We have had 2 DNFs that have gone by unmentioned by me, your commentator. Race has just gone by so quickly. Lap 11 of 12, the 2 DNFs, Captain Slow. Hope that's just a regular DNF and not an internet issue. We knew he had issues a little earlier on. And then Skull. Skull was the first to retire from the sprint race. But he needs not fear. We get another one-shot quali after this. And then we get the real thing. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 35 laps or something like that here in Austria. So lots still to come from SAFRL Season 14, Round 5. In fact, I recently found footage that is not available on this channel. That's right, it wasn't streamed on this channel, it was streamed on a temporary channel. But I have footage of the first ever SAFRL race. Well, that I commentated on anyway. Season 6, Round 1. And I'll be uploading that to the channel when I remember to do so. Forgetful. Miguel leads the way, Midas P2. Kellogg's P3, but now starting to fall adrift from the top two. This is all about them. This is all about Mercedes, all about Haas. And the last thing they want to do, make contact, touch wheels. This is all about the points, of course. 8 points for a victory, 7 points for P2. No real need to throw caution to the wind. No real need to do anything silly. 1 point. The difference between P1 and 2. Midas accepts P2 for now. Not later. Look at that. He had a penalty next to his name. That we didn't see. So Midas does take the victory. Kellogg's was starting to fall off, but he hadn't fallen off enough. So he's actually going to take P2. And Miguel, that's why I said earlier, as long as he doesn't make mistakes, capable of winning on any circuit. He does make little mistakes. Coming from a commentator who can't drive, take no offense to my commentary. And whatever you do, don't challenge me to drive with you. The end result will probably be me being banned from the league. Now we just wait for the final results. Remember, this is the sprint race. We still have the main action coming up next. There are your results. 8 points for Midas. Kellogg's picks up P2. Then Miguel P3 with the late penalty. Jonas P4. He'll be happy with that. Came through the field really nicely to pick up 5 points. Andre P5 looked like he could go for P4 at a stage. Then Skulk P6. Osman P7. And Smurf takes the final point. And we have Pantry Star Spikes, Harsh Cartoon, Lebby, Milk, Grimmy, Tiago, Scar, Virus, Captain Slow, and Skull. Of course, if you were with us at the beginning of the broadcast, it's going to be more of the same. You're looking at an empty pit lane, but you're not going to be looking at an empty pit lane for much longer. Suddenly, cars will appear on your screen. Everybody's going to have 1 lap to set their best lap. You go off in the gravel, you invalidate, you make a mistake. Well, that's on you. You've got 1 opportunity to get it right. If you get it awfully wrong, well, you've given yourself a little bit of work later this evening. Of course, we're into round 5 without a single safety car. This is a record on the NFR channel. Really impressive. We haven't seen a full safety car, and I'm going to keep on saying it till we do. Commentator's curse is failing. Failing. There we go. I said a car will suddenly appear on your screen, and it did. Car suddenly appeared on your screen. Look at that. It's Apex GP. Brad Pitt. Will make sense. Kellogg's is Brad Pitt. Of course, keep your eyes on the leaderboard. It's the only indication of where the drivers are. You can look at that list. Whoever's on top of the list is currently fastest on circuit. Of course, that can change. You see the names jumping up and down. That is live timing and who is currently ahead. So as things stand, you can see there Jonas, Miguel, Kellogg's, Midas, all of the top drivers from the sprint race, very much looking at the first two rows of the grid. Over the line goes Jonas with a 103.9, not quite as quick as the pole time we saw for the sprint race, but very nicely done. 103.9, the only driver in the 103s. Then we've got Midas, then we've got Miguel, we've got the triple M's in P3, and then Kellogg's P4, Lebby P5, Spikes P6. We'll try and get the rest of the list when everything comes up. There we go. Again, Jonas, Midas, Miguel, the 3Ms. Then you got Kellogg's, Lebby, Spikes, Andre, Skulk, Osman, and Harsh Cartoon make up the top 10. Bit of work to do. P11, Milk, Skull got a good lap in at the end. He'd be hoping to turn that into a result. Then Captain Slow 13, Scar 14, Pantry Star 15, Virus 16, and then no lap times from Tiago, Smurf, and Grimmy. You can see an empty pit lane, all the drivers to the right hand side. This time they will be doing a little bit of work on their strategy, deciding what tyre to start on, when they intend to pit. It's really how they intend their race to go, but that could all be over by turn 1. I need about 30 seconds. I hope the drivers will give me about 30 seconds. I'll be back with you shortly. There we go, we're back. Luckily, all the drivers taking their time. Of course, the sprint race, it's a lot more simple. Don't have to worry about a pit stop. Don't really worry about managing your tires. What it is, it's a sprint. When you get to the feature race, a little bit more strategy, a little bit more long-term thinking. Like the difference between a T20 and a test. It's not bash, bash, bash. Messages coming through from the comment section. Good luck to all the SAFRL guys on the grid. And of course, in brackets, Andre and Skull. We get the dual green lights. Drivers will get away for one more lap, one formation lap. Get one last look at the circuit, one feel of the car with a full fuel tank. What you can do is bring up the tires. That'll give everybody a better idea of what the drivers are doing. Don't worry too much about those possible race strategies, because 9 times out of 10, they're completely wrong. There we go. No soft tires anywhere to be seen in the field. Everybody going either with a set of mediums or hards, and it's pretty much split down the middle. And I'm back. I had to get something to cool down. If you had any idea how hot this commentary box is. down, feeling the heat coming off the PlayStation. So this is fantastic. So this time around, Jonas is going to have a very, very different view from the one he had at the start of the sprint race. Of course, he started right at the back of the field, went with a set of hard tires, worked out for him, made a lot of overtakes. The race worked out well. This time around, though, made his life a little easier. He's starting from the front. And there we go. 5 red lights. Okay, we can't see them very well, but they're there. And now they're not, which means we're on our way. RB versus Haas versus Kick versus Mercedes into turn 1. Mercedes is staying out of it for now, or is he? He goes around the outside. Kellogg's not a good turn 1. Looks like he outbraked himself a little bit. Corner a little quicker than he expected. That gave Miguel the position. Jonas leads the way, Midas P2. That's where they started. Miguel's made up 1. Kellogg's has lost 1. Andre on the prowl in P5, doing something a little different to the cars around him. That second Mercedes on a set of hard tires, as is Spikes. And Andre losing another position, losing a few. So important when you lose a position not to get disorientated, not to get flustered, not to get annoyed. Because that one position change can quickly turn into 1 or 2 or 3 or more. And sometimes leads to driving in anger. And we know how that usually ends. Jonas over the line, 109.2. That's the first lap of the night. DRS is enabled. Not going to be able to say that for much longer. DRS is enabled. You're looking at Skulk looking to make up a position. He's in P8. He sees P7 right there. It's Andre on a set of hard tires. And right now, Andre could just be in a little bit of trouble. He's got those hard tires on the car. Everyone around him's got the mediums. So, not only the softer the compound, the more the grip. I think everybody knows that. But also, the harder the tire, the longer it takes to get up to temperature. We might just see in the first lap or 2, Andre just struggling to get that tire up to temperature, to get the feel he wants out of it. But once the track comes to him, that hard tire will be optimal. Of course, all those mediums around him will start to fall off. They will start to feel the effects. And his tire will still have a lot of life in it. Let me know in the comment section if you're one of the drivers. I don't think you're going to be one of the drivers because we've got 19 in the field. If you're the 20th driver, the one that went missing, let me know how many times do you think they're going to pit in this race. Is it a straightforward one stop, mediums on to hards and vice versa for the rest? Or is this going to be a 2-stop? It's going to be a tricky strategy that's going to win this race, because you can see the 3 guys at the front, if they don't make any mistakes, they're able to match each other lap after lap after lap. They're all on the medium tire, they're all on the same strategy, they're all from different teams, so they don't even have to worry about double stacking. But a brilliant battle on the cards. That word comes up again, consistency. Don't want to get too hyped up in the moment. It's only lap 4 of 36. Don't want to do anything silly. Haven't even seen your pit window yet. That being said, you're a racing driver and you want to be out front. In the famous words of Ricky Bobby's father, whoever Ricky Bobby's father's, I don't know what his name was, Ricky Bobby's father, but I don't know what his name was. But I believe his line was, "This doesn't come out if you don't throw that real southern twang." I believe his line was, "If you're not first, you're last." So hopefully you don't follow that motto, because 18 drivers are going to be horribly disappointed. If you're not first, you're last. I think that's a motto Max Verstappen lives by. Loses his mind every time he's not in the lead. Speaking of the lead, there it is. RB, Haas, Mercedes, still very, very close together at this stage of the race, and look how they have broken away from the rest of the field. Kellogg's P4, he's on a set of medium tyres, but he's 2.3 seconds adrift from this battle. Top three in a league of their own. We have a caution in Sector 2, but that's all it is. It disappears from our screens. 3-second penalty. Going the way of Levy. He picks up the first penalty of the feature race. So difficult as a driver when you start picking up penalties so early in the race. It's almost like you start to drive within yourself. You start becoming so much more aware of the lines. You're not throwing the car around like you want to. You just have that second thought in the back of your mind. Oh no, I can't get another penalty. And really, when it comes to any form of racing, Formula One in particular, your mind can only be in one place. And if you're worried about penalties, if you're worried about crashing, you're not going as fast as you can. A long time ago, during the Ferrari era of Michael Schumacher, they once asked Michael Schumacher when he would consider retiring. And his answer was, the day he went into a corner he feared. Said that once you begin to fear the corners, you're no longer racing. Miguel, P3, that's the driver you're looking at. You can see the driver in P2 and the driver in the lead because they're all in the same frame. They have been in the same frame for the entirety of the race. The driver in P4, though, has changed hands. It was Kellogg's. He was falling off. He was 2.2 seconds adrift from the top three. Spikes has taken that P3 away from him, and he's reeling in the leaders. So that top three could very well become a top four before you know it. Spikes, he's on a set of hard tires. He's doing something a little different to those three ahead of him. And this could get interesting. Not a lot of love for the Cadillac team. I asked the question last week on the poll. Who would build the better engine? Or rather, who would finish ahead between the two new teams? And Audi won that. This time I switched the question. I said, who's going to end with the least amount of points? And well, Cadillac. So, not a lot of faith in the new F1 outfit. Course 11 could soon become 12. That news still very much in its infancy. Still very much rumors. Seems like Christian Horner is trying to buy his way into an F1 team. And if that doesn't work, we could see the base of a 12th team rising. Look at that, up the inside. Midas decides it's time to take the lead. Is he able to hold on to it? Didn't get the best pull-off out of the corner. Now Jonas. I'm sure they're all aware of this. I'm sure they're all aware that Spikes is coming up the road. He is closing the gap. He's on a set of hard tires. He can come and mix up the pot. The top three having all the fun in the world, all on the same set of tires, all on the same strategy. Spikes is coming in with a different strategy. He's going to mix things up. Why is it not raining? That's the question in the comment section. I'd love to know that question. Let's throw some excitement at it. Rain. Not only that, folks. Let's have rain, but exciting rain. So I'm thinking rain, slicks are mandatory in Monte Carlo. Mandatory slicks at a wet Monte Carlo at night. Can anyone think of a worse scenario? If you can think of a worse scenario, let me know. I've lost one driver. Thiago, the first of the DNFs on the night. We did have 20 drivers in the lobby initially. We lost one of the drivers before the race. Not sure who that was. But at the front, said the top three would soon become the top four. It's just not the top four I was expecting. Miguel leads the way. Spikes P2, Kellogg's P3. Then you got Andre in P4 doing a great job. Remember, he's on the hard tire. Raced in a league race last night. The league has 110 drivers. Imagine running that. Yeah, the less said the better. Once ran a league, I think at its peak it hit about 50, but none of that. I'm clearly not a manager. Seven tiers of racing. That's a pretty big league. It's the largest league I've ever been a part of. Commentated on it ever so briefly for about 4 or 5 rounds, and I drove in it for about 3 seasons. It was a league called either IRL or ILR, one of the two. Was before crossplay was a thing. You needed multiple leagues for each console and for the PC guys. In total, 16 tiers across all platforms. And the founder, well, he was in high school. Spikes, Miguel, Andre, 2 Mercedes, very close together at this stage of the race, but they're in two. I was gonna say they're in 2 different races, but they're not in 2 different races. Look at that, Andre is there. on merit. But Miguel, 12 lap old mediums, Andre 12 lap old hards. That's because he's going to be in a slightly better position at this stage. Looks like Miguel just stretching those mediums a little bit more. What this does can actually hamper Andre's race a little bit. That was somebody else he might be attacking. He might be looking for position, but because it's his teammate, he's just sitting back, sort of sitting back, waiting for his teammate to make that pit stop so he can get on with it. It's the last thing you want. Collision between the two. And there we go. Miguel. Is Miguel in the pits? No, he's not. He's staying out. Back to Andre. Andre coming into the pits on a set of hard tires. I thought he'd go a little deeper than that. It's actually gone shorter than the medium runner. Miguel, 13 laps on the medium tire. He's taken the tire further than anyone else. Playing a one stopper. Apparently a low deg circuit. Does anyone remember when we had those high deg tires, those ridiculous tires that, wow, those things were crazy. They'd last like 15 laps and they were done. Absolutely useless. Remember the ultra soft purple tire? That thing was so soft you had to manage it on your out lap so that you could get the most out of it on your hot lap in qualifying. Midas, still P2. He has fallen quite a way behind. Miguel yet to pit. It's a interesting situation because he's literally doing something different to everybody else out on track. And it's not because he needed to mix things up to get into the lead of the race. He was up there. His opponents have done something different. He's chosen to stay out. And now the worrying thing is Midas is behind him, 4.8 seconds behind him, already having made a pit stop. So when Miguel does come into the pits, he's going to lose approximately 18 seconds. This is a short pit lane. Say between 18 and 20 seconds. Of course, it also counts a lot how the driver comes into the pits, how effectively he slows down. His tires must have been close to 80%. Of course, that's danger territory. The moment you go over 75, can't be angry at a puncture. You were in puncture territory. Jonas, Midas, Kellogg's, Spikes, Andre, Levy, Miguel down to P8 on a brand new set of hard tires. One advantage he will have on his side now is he can absolutely abuse those tires. He can throw everything at this car. He can have qualifying laps till the end of the race. Does not need to worry about tire management because he stretched those mediums for so long. But in doing so, lost a lot of track position. So he can't be doing what he did in the sprint race. Can't be picking up any penalties. That's just going to make it that much more difficult. Right, corn flakes only works if you say corn. If you're just South African and you see that, well, it's Millie Flakes, and that sounds really weird. Millie Flakes. Kellogg's Millie Flakes. Love it. Cornflakes with a South African twist. South African Kellogg's Millie Flakes. Rue saying the comment section is quiet. It is a quiet comment section. Sometimes you'll see a lot of viewers, very little comments. That's because the viewers aren't really viewers. They're drivers listening to the comments in the background. Some streams get more viewers than others. But we really do this for the ones that keep coming back every week. Midas leads the way, Jonas P2, then Spikes. It's really about the top two at this stage, so close together. Just 0.4 of a second covering the two. Miguel was a very big part of this race, but that late pit stop has just sort of thrown him out of tune with everybody else for now. I have no idea what that says. What? Go to the cars at the back of the field that don't get any coverage. They're not going to get any coverage because those two cars are ghosting. Captain Slow and Skull ghosting at the rear of the field. This is Scar. One of the two Ferraris, P16, Osman 15, Virus. Coming under pressure from that Haas. And you got Grimmy 13. Harsh Cartoon holding on to P12. Smurf in a relatively lonely P11. Here we've got Milk in the Aston Martin. The one solitary point. Pantry Star was in P10. He's actually just taken that P9 while we were speaking. Skulk P8, Levy P7. Two Mercedes. Miguel has got past his teammate. Right, we're going to try pronounce that. Probably a swear word in a language I don't know. Okay, well now Death Queen's just typing it too. Why not spam it in the chat? I've got no idea what it means. It's going to be a mystery on this channel. It'll be in the next poll. What is the meaning of whatever that is? Midas. Jonas. Half a second covers the two. Then we got Spikes P3. Kellogg's, he's had a strong race. Remember, he had a good sprint race. He's had a strong feature race. And the two Mercedes. 5 and 6, your championship leader. Drivers championship leader in P5 and team championship leader 5 and 6. We have a caution in sector 3, but that's all it appears to be. It should disappear, and it does. Somebody's not telling me something. Surely safety car has been switched off. This is round 5, folks. Sometimes we get 5 safety cars in a race. We haven't seen a safety car in 5 rounds. Fortunately now for these leaders lapping the cars, those cars do ghost. So you're able to simply drive through them. But it's not as easy as that. It is distracting. Sometimes it can just catch you out. You're on your absolute limit and something catches you out. It could throw you out of contention. The only DNF from the race now in the comment section and supporting Midas. I'm saying, come on, Midas. The white RB and the white horse sort of look very similar on board. Never noticed that before. Look at that. Oh, wow. Wasn't for the Red Bull branding, you'd have a problem. Still not crazy about the name RB. I guess it's better than V-Carb. My favorite will always remain Toro Rosso. Midas leads the way. 8.2 seconds is the gap. This is when the question marks start to fly around. Who does what, when? Do you stay out? Do you hold on to track position? Do you come in? Do you pit? If you're going to pit, you need to do it soon. Every single lap you spend out there on aging tires is going to be costing you a lot of time. And a strategy by Miguel that didn't make sense to me that long ago is now starting to look oh so clear. Now within DRS of spikes in P3. Of course, still a lot of life on those hard tires. And as we join the leader, we join him coming down the pit lane. P2 also in the pit lane. P3 also in the pit lane. And look what we have here. The Mercedes 1-2. If you've been on this channel for a very long time, you'll know I'm not much of a Mercedes fan. Which is why whenever I see a Mercedes in 1 and 2, the only image I see in my head is Spain 2016. And if you don't know what happened in Spain 2016, look it up after the race. A race that was not only hilarious, but also gave birth to Mercedes' greatest foe. Miguel leads the way from his teammate. 1.9 seconds between Miguel and Andre. Jonas a further 4 seconds back. He's on a brand new set of hard tires. And look at that, he's throwing everything at it. He's got a purple lap. Fastest lap of the race goes the way of Jonas. And like I say, he's got those tires. Quite a big gap down to Kellogg's in P4. So if Andre holds things together, he might just be able to bring this home. But as for Jonas, he's making up ground very quickly. 3.2 seconds is the gap. It was over 4 not so long ago. Driving with Skulk, or you were driving with Skulk. This is what I mean, you can drive right through them, but they're still distracting. One benefit they do, they give you DRS as if they were really there. So Jonas gets DRS off the ghost cars, and that's just going to assist him getting closer to the back of those Mercedes. There's Andre. Light lock up. one thing to remember: what we see on screen does not always translate to what the drivers are doing. Lots of times we'll see a lockup. The driver didn't lock up. The game just decided to add a bit of drama. At the rear of the field, ghost cars. What you want to see just means people are having trouble with their connections. It's the most frustrating way to leave a race. Having a bad race is one thing, retiring is another. But when it's your internet that decides it's the end of your race, nothing is more frustrating. So now it's still Miguel and Jonas. 4.4 seconds is the gap between the two. Of course, Jonas has the much fresher tires between the two. Going to be quite the challenge to find 4.5 seconds against an incredibly quick driver. Was wondering if Andre was going to make a pit stop. Yes, he did. Was going to take some epic tire management to bring those tires home. He's on a set of medium tires in P6. Benefit for him now is he's got the grip on his side with only 9 laps to go. Can really throw these tires around, enjoy them in the closing stages. Looking at the remaining Red Bull, of course the other one's still circulating, but that is a ghost car. Smurf in P9. This is Osman, the second Haas driver. His teammate had a very eventful evening. Strong sprint race, strong feature race. Still more to come. Race is far from decided. Tires are going to still play their part. You can see there, Jonas in the lead. Got 5-lap-old hard tires. Don't think it's going to come too much into play. The next 3 have 4-lap-old hard tires. I think where they should be watching the most, Miguel in P5. Of course, he's on a brand new set of mediums. He's got all the grip in the world. The car's going to be very light at this stage of the race. Always thought having that extra grip advantage is better at the end of the race than at the beginning of the race. Well, because you're going faster, you've got less fuel, the car's lighter. Sometimes you don't get all the benefits of the softer tire when you've got such a heavy car. Of course, I am talking from the perspective of a terrible sim racer. These guys are incredibly talented. They know how to manage their tires. They know how to manage their races, and that's why they finish races in the front. Speaking of the front, not so long ago we had a Mercedes 1-2. We have another 1-2. It's not a Mercedes team. It's not even a Mercedes engine. Jonas leads the way, spikes in P2, but 11.5 seconds between the two. A good time. Just to remind, on the Constructors' Championship, of course, Mercedes leads the way, Haas P2, and RB currently having a fantastic race. They're in P3 in the championship. What would this do to their result? Of course, if you're able to get the fastest lap, if you're able to get a 1-2, I believe that's a total of 44 points on the night. Plus, if they manage to score anything in the sprint race, that is a very profitable evening. The RB team can't get too ahead of itself, not yet. There's a Kick Selba in P3 and he wants to ruin that party. He wants to ruin that 1-2, that perfect sequence. Virus into the penalties column. Bring up that penalties column, nothing too serious, just a couple of 3-second penalties going the way of Miguel, Midas, Levy, and Virus. And again, same thing happened in the sprint race. Miguel was picking up penalties at a crucial time. Got so much work to do, so much of a gap to close. Then you've still got overtakes to do once you get there. And then you throw that sort of thing on your shoulder. And just make it almost impossible. 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 Why am I saying it so many times? Impossible. Look at your track map. Your track map is lit up in yellow. You have a yellow dot on the screen. It says caution. It's not a caution. I think we're under safety car conditions. And that would be the first one of the season. Are we under safety car conditions? I believe we are. That yellow dot has stopped in sector 1. So boys and girls, if this race was starting to look like it was going in one particular direction, you can throw all of that out. Throw it in the trash. Forget about it. Get out a fresh piece of paper. Everything could change. We've got drivers on softs, we've got drivers on hards, drivers on mediums, just a few laps to go. This could literally mean anything. You could have been in the top in qualifying. You could have led the entirety of the race, not even the majority, the entirety. And then right at the end, this is the sort of thing that could just throw everything off balance. Death Queen saying, it's on me. It's on me. I'll take it. I'm guilty. I don't care. Interesting entertainment at the end of a race. It's lap 32 of 36. Just keep your eyes on the safety car. From a spectator mode point of view, the safety car is broken because we don't get... You can see it doesn't say safety car on your screen. It says caution in sector 2. You've got to keep your eyes on that track map. First thing you'll see is all the cars getting cramped up, pressed behind the safety car. Once everybody's behind that safety car, the safety car will probably come in at the end of that lap. The safety car usually allows a maximum of 3 laps for you to join that queue. If you haven't joined the queue within those 3 laps, well, it usually just leaves you behind. Really, the only time the safety car doesn't help you is if you're a lap behind. You sort of get stuck a lap behind. Safety car doesn't do much to help you. As long as you're on that lead lap, depending on where you are on the circuit, where you are in your strategy, when that safety car comes out, can really flip things on its head. Luckily for all the lead drivers, seems like everybody was able to get into the pits. The problem with that RB is they were relatively close together. Jonas came in for the set of softs. Not sure if Spikes was worried about a double stack, but he stayed out on the hard tires. There's a lot of drivers behind them on fresh softs. Still have not got that safety car notification. And we're not going to get it this lap yet. We still see a few stragglers there on the mini-map. All of those cars should catch up to the queue during the course of the next lap. If they don't, they will be left behind. Now, all the build-up. Had your one-shot qualies, you've had your sprint race, had your race. It was building up to the end. It was building to the single digits of laps remaining. You were hyped up. The adrenaline was flowing all over. And then a safety car came out, neutralized the whole thing, nullified the whole thing. And you've got to get your mind back in focus for the last 2 laps. Doesn't matter what you did for all the laps prior. The race result could literally come down to this restart. Here we go, we get a green track. That means a safety car will come in at the end of this lap. Game is so broken, I'm starting to understand its little code messages. Here we go, safety car runs off into the distance. The leader, Jonas, takes responsibility of the pack. In a way, becomes the temporary safety car. He decides when the race resumes, and there can be no overtaking till the start-finish line. And there he goes. I think he got the jump on everyone. He did. Very nice start. Almost 1 second as he heads up the hill into turn 1. 9/10 of a second to be exact. Fantastic start by Jonas. Can't say the same for his teammate. His teammate's under a lot of pressure. P12 with 11 lap old tires. Car behind him also 11 lap old tires. But behind them, some very aggressive, brand new soft compounds. Will you look at that? Will you look at that? A horse came in late. We didn't get a good view of that. That is Midas versus Miguel in the closing stages. Both of those drivers with penalties next to their name. Last thing they really want to be doing is coming wheel to wheel. They want to be going as high up the order as possible to neutralize those penalties. Unfortunately for them, when you've got a penalty next to your name and a safety car comes out that late, you're going to lose so many positions. Mercedes versus Haas, side by side, up the straight. And Miguel gets the better of the Haas driver and goes up into P4. DRS is enabled just in time for the last lap of the race. Lap 36 of 36. What a job by Spikes. Remember, 12 lap old hard tires. A lot of fresh tires all around him. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's able to bring that car home in P2. And what's helping him is behind him. Look at this. Miguel looking to make up positions. Midas looking to make up positions. They're going as high up the field as they can. And in the process, they just put Kellogg's rule a little bit off there. And that has sort of secured P2 for Spikes. That gap 2.8 seconds. Where are the RBs? There's the first one. Does a little weave. Don't know if the second one's going to do a weave. It's a little closer. He does. And that is an RB1-2. Maximum points on the night. And if they manage to pick up the fastest lap between the two of them, well, then that will be 44 points. If not, still a respectable 43 on the night. And there's a podium celebration that'll probably get you banned by the Saudis. Jonas, your race winner. Jonas, fastest lap. Then driver of the day goes to Smurf. Most overtakes go to Smurf. And cleanest driver go to Smurf. Taking a sweep of the awards. Let's just get to the correct results. There we go. Jonas takes the victory and the fastest lap. Spikes P2, also for Racing Bulls. That gives you a total of 44 points for the night, plus whatever they got in the sprint race. There we go. One of them was in P4 in the sprint race. Then you got Kellogg's in P3, the two Mercedes 4 and 5 in the points again for Andre. Then Midas P6, Smurf P7, the two Aston Martins, they're 8 and 9. And then Harsh Cartoon picks up the final point of the evening. Osman just outside the points, that's going to sting. Grimmy P12, Virus 13, then Scar 14, Skull. I believe that car was ghosting, as was Captain Slow, as was Skulk, and the two DNFs, Pantry Star, and the first to go was Tiago. And there we go, folks. That is SAFRL on NFR, Season 14, Round 5. And what a race it was. We got our first safety car. First safety car of the season. And it came so late on in the race. Really mixed things up. I want to thank everybody who joined us, everybody who watched. There were a few of you here at a stage, dropped a little bit towards the end. But you guys make this channel worth it. So thank you to everybody. We will be back next week. We might be back earlier. Of course, we are talking to 2 additional F1 leagues. The only difference is they won't be permanent fixtures on the channel, but they will be broadcast from time to time. That is a possible Friday and a possible Sunday league coming to NFR at 8 p.m. on those nights. Of course, not every Friday and not every Sunday, but when there is a stream, I'll try and advertise that ahead of time. Everyone have a fantastic Tuesday night. Have a fantastic rest of your week. And until I speak to you again, enjoy the music and cheers.
Just one more thing before I go, before I let you take the throne. You go right and I stay left. And if you ever get too close, you'll know my name before I go. They love me, then they love you now. But don't forget there's one more round. Oh, the pain, I know it well, but I wear it like a crown. Before I go, before I let the curtain close, you can take the spotlight now, but when the lights are low, you'll still hear my echo. They build you up, then tear you down, but I won't make a sound, 'cause I've been here before. You know my name